Hi, I'm Madison and welcome back to my channel. Today I have 10 romance manga recommendations for you. So we're going to kick it off with a romance manga that I read recently, and that is Yakuza Fianc. So this is following Yoshino, and she is a sheltered Yakuza princess in Osaka. What ends up happening is her grandfather, the head of the Yakuza, ends up signing a truce with the Tokyo Yakuza, and part of this truce is to actually marry off Yoshino to the head of the Yakuza in Tokyo's grandson. Okay, so it's basically you marrying the granddaughter to the grandson. So they're about to get married. They're engaged. So Yoshino goes all the way to Tokyo to basically move in with him and live with him now that they're like engaged. The only thing is that it turns out this guy is violent AF and an extreme masochist. Okay, so he actually wants nothing to do with her until he literally is acting so shitty, so rude to her that she finally snaps. And when she snaps, he's like, oh, okay. He's turned on by her being a bitch. And he's like, actually, yeah, let us get married. And she's like, no, you are crazy. What the actual F? What is going on here? It is such a wild ride. I highly recommend it, especially if you like yours to be like on the Yakuza side. Violence, drama, romance, everything. Switching topics here, we then have Honey Lemon Soda, which officially came out in print in January of this year in English, which is so phenomenal. This is one of my favorite all-time romance mangas. You cannot go wrong with Honey Lemon Soda. So you've got Ishimori-san, and she doesn't have many friends. She was bullied when she was in middle school. She's really always struggled to make friends and has always felt a lot of pressure. She doesn't really trust herself until one day she ends up crossing paths one day with this boy who has bright yellow colored hair, and he drinks lemon soda all the time, and their chance encounter happens when he accidentally splashes lemon soda on her, and they both in the same classroom. And after this incident, he starts to, kind of take an interest in her, and he sees that she's, trying to make friends, that she wants to be, social, but that she keeps getting put down, and he kind of basically agrees to be her friend to like help her make more friends, and kind of takes her under his wing, and kind of like It does to some extent kind of a little bit remind me of Kimi ni Todoke, but this one, the guy is like a little bit more of like a bad boy player than the guy is in Kimi ni Todoke, because in that one he's like the straight-laced like valedictorian, so has a little bit of a different twist on it, and it's all about, kind of rebelling for the very first time and falling in love with a popular boy. And the art is also so cute. Some of my favorite art is in this. I absolutely adore the shit out of it, so definitely recommend this. Like, it's so cute. We then have In the Clear Moonlight Dusk, which is actually by the same mangaka who did Daytime Shooting Star, if you did not know. So this follows Takiguchi, and Takiguchi is beautiful. She is the prince of the school. The only problem is that she's the prince of the school. She's a girl, but she's so handsome that everyone kind of mistakes her for a boy, and she's kind of just accepted her fate until one day she finally crosses paths with Ichimura senpai, and he is also the other prince of the school. And it's kind of really interesting. It's them striking up a friendship that eventually turns into a romance, because they're both considered like the princes of the school, but one of them's a guy and one of them's a girl, and kind of like they're both also very different in the way that they are revered as princes and their popularity in the school as well. And so it's a really fun one. Obviously a gorgeous art style, because this mangaka is just known for having such beautiful, crisp, clear, gorgeous kind of art, and I live for it. So this one is definitely it. We then have a title that I cannot look at the camera and say, because I cannot memorize this as much as I've tried. It's taken me many tries and it's not happening. So we have The Invisible Wallflower marries an upstart aristocrat after getting dumped for her sister. So this was Iris, who is the daughter of a marquise, and she ends up getting dumped by her fiance when her fiance ends up falling in love with her younger sister. Norms. As a result of this, she is then sent to go marry Lord Lucas, who is a nouveau rich kind of, aristocrat. And the reason why, obviously he married into his family is because of the social standing, and the reason why her family married into him is because he has all this money and he can help the debt that the family has found themselves in. But it turns out that Lord Lucas is actually quite excited to marry Iris because he is a nouveau rich. He doesn't actually understand like any of the aristocrat ways, and so he's hoping that Iris can teach him, and she's actually quite flattered by this because she's always been the wallflower. She's always been the the less popular of her and her sister. It's very cute and sweet. This is only available in digital format though currently. We then have The Maid at My House. This is actually available on Kindle Unlimited if you do have KU. Fun fact. So this follows a girl, and her family owns a company that is like a maid dispatching service. So they have like a bunch of like live-in maids that they like send out depending on like, you know, as like an agency. And this girl, you know, she's working with her parents one day and she sees a request come in, and the request is for this massive celebrity, like this like popular like dude who she's like really attractive, like in love with, and she's like, oh my god, I'll be the live-in maid for him, like screw everyone else, like I'll go do it. So she goes to go be his live-in maid, only to find out that while he may come off, you know, in the media and on socials like as a really nice, like upstanding guy, he's actually quite a dick. And so it's her being his live-in maid and their romance, and it's very good. It's a very quintessential like kind of shoujo vibes here for sure. We then have Replay, which is a BL manga. This is actually a one-shot, so it's only one single volume, which is very nice. So you're following Yuta and Ritsu, who are childhood friends. They bonded over being on the baseball team together and are like inseparable until they end up failing their most recent tournament and both end up having to retire so that they can actually focus on their high school careers. And so when this happens, they no longer have baseball between them as the reason why they were friends, but they end up, you know, kind of drifting apart a little bit and then coming back together eventually to like actually strike up a proper friendship that kind of turns into something more, because they start to realize that, you know, maybe the reason why they were so inseparable after all these years is not just because of baseball, but because of this connection they have with one another. So it is a BL. It is quite wholesome. There is no like dub con or anything like that. Everything that does happen in this, spicy wise, is consensual too, which I feel like is very important to say if you are aware. Then I have The Invisible Man and His Soon-to-Be Wife. This is more of a really cute, quirky, not too romance heavy manga. Out of all the other ones I have here, this one's, you know, that really just cute and cozy vibe that I wanted to kind of add on for people who want more of that wholesome slice of life, just general feel when it comes to a romance manga. So this follows Shizuka, and she works at a detective agency, and her boss is this really amazing detective, upstart gentleman. He's just phenomenal. The only problem is that he is also invisible. The thing is that while him being invisible is great for him being a detective, it means that he's able to do so many different things. Him being invisible does not actually work on Shizuka because she is blind, so she can actually hear him even though like everyone else can't. And it's just their day-to-day life at the detective agency, and it's really cute and quirky. You get to see all the different like coming and going. So it's definitely like the romance is not like the main focus in this, but it is there and it's very, very cute. So for my spicy manga lovers, we have The Villainess and The Demon Knight. I do have this physically, but it's over there and I'm too lazy to go grab it. Just a quick mention, because I said this is spicy, that is explicit, you know, sexy scenes that do go on in this. Not too much, it's only in the very beginning of the manga, but just a preface, this is not clean. You do see letatas in it. Anyway, you're following Cecilia, who is just realized that she's actually the villainess in an anime game. The problem is that she has realized that she's a villainess in the anime game. She's gotten these memories back way too late. Way too late. The game has happened. The game has finished. She has lost as the villainess. The heroine has won. As a result, Cecilia has been stripped of her title, no money, has been exiled, and is now working in a brothel. Now, the very first night in the brothel, her very first nightly companion, we should say, is actually the leader of the Imperial Guard. And the next morning when she wakes up, he ends up bringing her to his mansion and wants her to become his fiancé, because it turns out that he's actually in love with her all these years, because he saw Cecilia while she was like in court, you know, because she was supposed to get betrothed to the crown prince, and this guy was like the Imperial Guard for the crown prince. Like he saw after all these years, and so when she was like, you know, kind of dropped off the face of the earth, he's like come in as like her savior, because he's always loved her. So it's their romance. It's very fun. Only the first volume is out now, and that's all I've read, so I cannot wait to see this one goes. Next we have A Condition Called Love, and this one's like, oh, this gets you in the feels. This is a really, really cute romance manga, but it does have a bit more of like an emotional feel to it, just because of the way that it starts off and just kind of the vibes in general. So you're following Hotaru, and she is 16 years old. She's in high school. She's never really experienced love, and one day she's on her way back from school, and she sees Hanano-kun on the snow sitting in the ground just dejected after a really public, really messy breakup, and he's just really dejected and very distraught over this, and she ends up walking over to him and giving him her umbrella, like offering just a very like nice gesture. And after this, you know, there's kind of this connection that forms between the two of them, and it ends up kind of opening her entire life up to kind of this romantic encounter that is going to blossom between the two of them, and him kind of learning to lean on her. And it's so beautiful and so gorgeous, and especially with the art style of this mangaka as well, like everything together, it is just absolutely phenomenal. It's a brand new one that just came out, I think like a couple months ago in print, so definitely check this one out. And then last but not least, I have got Futari Escape. This is a Yuri rom-com. The art in this is so much fun. It is actually absolutely hilarious and very, very much a feel-good manga. So you'll find this girl who is a professional mangaka and her girlfriend who is kind of just a real slacker, and it's the two of them kind of just living out their life, you know, with the whole pressures of adulthood, how to deal with all of those different things, and kind of just trying to find different little things to do in your day-to-day life to kind of make it more fun and more wholesome. And it's, you know, just them having their romance and kind of just like living life out. It's very slice of life in that sense, and you really can't go wrong with this one, to be quite honest. And I don't know why I don't see a lot of people talking about it either, because it's not toxic. And yeah, those are 10 new romance manga recommendations for you. I hope you did enjoy these. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button down below, and if you want to see more of me, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check me out over on TikTok and Instagram. Especially TikTok, I do a lot of manga and anime content over there more frequently. And yeah, until next time, thanks so much everyone. Bye bye.